Hello guys, welcome back again to your Netcode-Hub channel, where we use Microsoft technologies to create mobile app, desktop app, and web applications. These technologies include Blazor Server, Blazor WebAssembly, .NET MAUI, and .NET MAUI Blazor Hybrid. If you want to know more about this, please check the playlist. We have a lot of informative videos for you. In this video, we are going to talk about state management and the 5 techniques that you can use to implement state management in Blazor. This cuts across either Blazor Server or Blazor WebAssembly. As usual, I am Frederick, your lesson facilitator. And also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Click on the notification icon to receive updates as soon as we upload a new video. You can also like this video to support this channel grow. Now, when we talk about state management, what is it? State management in Blazor, it is a technique of preserving data across Blazor pages or components. So without state management, data will be lost. So when the user navigates to a different page or reload the browser, the data that has been initialized is going to be lost. But with the help of state management, you can maintain the state of these data. And that is what we're going to have a look. There are several ways of implementing state management in Blazor. In this video, we're going to have a look at 5 techniques or 5 ways of implementing state management in Blazor. Now, these 5 ways are 1. Using cascading value. 2. Using state container with dependency injection. 3. Is using query string to send data from one page to another one. And now the 4th one is using browser local storage. Now, the last one here, it is using database. It could be an SQLite or it could be SQL database. But in this case, we're going to use an SQLite as a database engine here. When we are done with each of these projects, I'm going to put each of them to the GitHub. So you can just check the description and you can just have the link to clone the source code and also review. So let's have a look on state management using cascading value. So when you use cascading value in state management, it allows you to make the value that you have specified available to all descendant components. Let's have a look with this for you to get the proper understanding here. So in this project, by using this cascading value in state management, we have our service here. This is just a class. Now this class contains just these parameters or these properties. So the first one is the product count. It is just an integer type. The second one here, it is a list of product. Now this product here, it is a model as you can see, and it has just 2 properties. That is an ID and our name. So when you check the service that we have created for this product service, you can see that we have the list over here. And now as soon as the page loads or this class is called, we created a constructor to initialize and now populate the values for this list. So as soon as the page loads, you're going to have this list in this container. Now, if you check down here, you can see we have the product count and we want to count the records or the product in this container and now assign the value to this product count. So when you call this product count, you're going to have the list or for the count of the items in this list. And when you call this list items to, we're going to have all the items in that list. Okay, so in order to make this service or in order to make this class available in all components, we have to round it with a cascading value. And that is what we are doing it over here inside this main layout. So you can see from here that we create, we call that class over here. We create an instance of it, then we initialize it over here. Now, after the initialization, you can see that from here, we are using this cascading value. Then we specify this, the instance of this service here, of this class here, as the value for this. Now, the reason is all other components are going to be rendered inside this body. So as soon as you surround the body with this, it means that this is going to cascade this value downwards to any of the components that's going to be rendered inside this body. So any component within this body is going to have access to this product service. So we see we have to just create an instance, then we pass the instance into this cascading value. So it's like we are broadcasting this service here onto any component found within the body. Now, how do you receive this within any page? Now let's have a look here. So when you go to this index, we want to retrieve it. We want to retrieve the product list from the class that we cascaded through this main layout. So in order to do that, you can see that in the code section, we have to specify this attribute on top so it can receive the data from the ancestor type. So you can see you have a cascading parameter, and now this means that there's an ancestor value coming from top. So make sure you receive it. That is what this cascading parameter means. Now you can see we create an instance of this, and now we can now have access to the method in this class. Okay, so when you check this class, the method in this class, you can see that we have it set in this service. We have the product count and we have the product list. So that's what we are doing here. So after we have this service created over here, we can now call this service. So on top here, within the car top here, we have this product service dot product count, and you can see we are looping through this product service here, and now we are just displaying each item because this product here is a list. As you can see, the type here, it is a list, so we can have to loop through the list and now display. Now it is not only this that we can access that ancestor component. We can also access it anywhere. Now let's check, have a look with the fetch data. So that is the fetch data component. You can see we also inject the same service. Then we specify the parameter as a cascading parameter on top. Aside from that, we are calling here, we can have the product count from that service. And as you can see, we have it over here. So product service dot product count, we can also get it here. So in this time round, when we run this, the value here is going to be persistent because as soon as we specify the value from here, it's going to store into the service and the state won't change. So it's going to be displayed anywhere that has been referred in a specific component. And that is exactly what we are doing here. So we're going to see that on top here. And now with this, we have just an text box. Then we create an instance of this product we want to add. Okay. So in order to add, we can also call the same service because we've injected here. Now this service has this product list and we can add this new product. Now to get the ID, since we are using a hard-coded, we have to populate the ID or create the ID ourselves. So you want to have in a state that it's going to increase by 1 at a time. As soon as you click on this add button, you should get the current count and I increase it by 1. And that is exactly what we are doing here. After that, we set this container here to empty. We clear whatever thing that is found within this container and I make it ready to accept a new value from this. So that's what we are doing. Now it is very simple. So here the main motive here it is to create your service, and that is the service that you create. Then after that you surround the service around the body in the main layout. So you can just cascade it downwards to any component that is found in this body. And now to receive it, you have to create this service in the component. And after creating this in the component, you have to specify the cascading parameter on top so it can receive any value, this value from this ancestor type. After receiving the value, you have to now call any method or the property that you specified within that class. And that is exactly what we are doing over here. And the same thing we are doing that over here. So let's save this, let's run this application and see what we have. Okay, so you can see that we have the value here set. Now, if I click on this counter, I can just click on click me and you can see the counter increases up to 4. But as soon as I navigate to the home and I return, you can see the value here, the state is not persistent, so it is off, it is gone, unless I click it again. But let's see if you are using cascading value, let's see, you can see the product count here, it is 11. This is the default value that we have. Now when you go to fetch data, we have the same count as 11 over here. This means that the value here, it is persistent. Now let's go to the home, let's add 1 here. So let's add any, add product, you can see we have it as 12. Now go to the fetch data, that's a new component. You can see we still have the same 12. We can also add the same value here and I'm making it, you can see 13. When you go to the home, you can see it is still 13. So here, the value of this, it is persistent across all pages. As far as you reference it in that page, you're going to have the same value, and that's a single value or the default value for every page that you referred the service in. So that is a way to use the cascading value. Now let's go to the next one, that is using the state container. How do you use state container to manage the state of variables or models? Let's have a look with the next example. So what does state container do? Now, state container allows components to share data across different parts of the app without having to use traditional component parameters or cascading value. So this can reduce the complexity and improve the performance of the application. So let's have a look. Now again, state container can also enable components to react to state changes and update their UI accordingly. Now with the state container, what you have to do here is you're going to create the same service, but this time around we are going to register the service in the program so we can inject this service on top of each page, and as soon as you inject it, you can now have access to all methods or all properties inside that service. Let's have a look here. Now let me just close everything here. So the service that we created, it is one service that we are using for all examples. Okay, so all techniques, we're going to use the same example or the same service. So you can see from here we have this product service, and as you've seen from the cascading one, you see the same thing. So we have this property over here, we have this list property, we populate the list as soon as the page loads, and now we have to also populate the count as well. Now with the cascading one, we do not have to inject or register this or create dependency injection, but with this we have to create it. So as you can see from here, we are saying that builder.services.add singleton, and we add this product service. As soon as you create this dependency injection or we register this service in the program.cs file, we can now inject this class on top of each page. So when you check this index page, you can see that we are injecting the service over here. As soon as we inject it, this service contains the methods and properties that we can actually handle or we can get. Now, one of the properties was the product count. So if you check this product service, it has this product count. And now this count, as soon as this page initializes, it is counting the list of items in this product. And that is what the product service, or that is what this product count is doing. So we're going to have pop up or display the count of the product. Also, you can see we are looping through. Now we are looping through the same. So here we are checking if the product count is greater than 0, meaning we have some product available. If so, then loop through the product service. That's the product, which is the list of products, and now display it using this card. Also, we have down here, you can see we have this input text box for product name, and then there's a button here known as add product. As soon as add product is clicked, you can see we are performing, or we want to assign or create the ID automatically or defaultly, then product service.product, because this product is a list, as you can see. So far it's a list, we can add an item to it of the same type, that is product. So we add it, and now we create an instance of this. That's we clear the container. Also, when you check this fetch data, we are doing the same thing over here. We inject the same service as well. Then we can now have access to the product count. We have an input test, our button over here. Then we call the same service and now add. So now the state of the list and the state of the product count is going to be persistent across all pages. If it is 1, everywhere that you refer the service in there, you're going to see the same state. Now let's have a look. So the cascading state and this is similar, just that the cascading state, you have to specify it across or around the home, that's a body tag. And also we have to specify an attribute that is a cascading parameter on top. But for this, what you need to do here is to create or register this in the service, inject it, and now you can now use it. So it's the same thing that we've seen from the previous one. You can see from here, if I check this counter, I click on this, and as soon as I return, the state is off. Check the home page, I have this product count, and I can just increase one more, so this is 11. I can add this, making 12. I can add this, making 13. I can add one more, making 14. Now check this, so this is 14. If I go to fetch data, the value here is still persistent. The state is persistent. I can see the state here. I can still add one more over here, 15. And as soon as I go to the home page, I see the same 15, and now the list or the product or the list has been added up over here. So that's also the way of using the state container. The difference here is we have to register the service in the program.cs file, inject the service, and now you're good to go. Now let's have the next one, the next technique, that is using query string to send data from one page to another to also maintain the state of a variable or of a model. Let's have a look with the third technique. So query strings are a way of passing data from one component to another in Blazor using the URL. So they are important for state management in Blazor because they can help preserve and restore the state of a component across circuits, which are server-side representation of users' connection to a Blazor server application. So it is easily to extract data from the query string. It is easily to also send data using the query string. Now let's have a look here how to send data from one component to another one by maintaining the state of that value. The state of that value of that variable. Okay. Now let's have a look with this example. So here, what we are doing here is we go to this index, and with this index, you can see that you are injecting this navigation manager on top. And now this using namespace will allow us to use this query helper. Okay, so that's the namespace that we need to inject. Also, we are looping through the list over here as a product list. Now check this. We have, as soon as the page initializes, we create a list of this product. As you can see, we have a list of product here. And now with this list of product, we are defaultly assigning or populating the values for this list. So we have this over here. Then we also have this product count to the count of these items in this product. And that is, we have this integer property named or defined on top here. Okay. Now if we check here, you can see we have this add product. In case I want to add product, you can see we have a list of product here. So I can add product to this list. So what we need to do here is we have to create an instance of this product class. And that is a class that has been created over here. This is a class which comprises of two properties, ID and our name. Now in that, we want to go back again to this index. We are populating or we are specifying the value for the name. And that is what this index is bound to. Because you put that name. Now as soon as this button is clicked, we get this method fired as an add product. So this is a method add product. And now here we are manually adding the ID. So we get a product count, then we increase it by 1. Then we add the list or this product to the list. We clear the container. Now it's going to have a button. Now there is a button. Send the product count to another page. So send, when this button is clicked, let's say this event get fired. Now we are creating a dictionary of what as a nav parameter, because you want to specify the parameter or the query string of the URL. So in order to do that, we have to create a dictionary string over here. And I can see this is a dictionary parameter that we are creating. Now the dictionary, it has this key and then the value. So the key is a string, the value is also a string. Because you're using a query string, so it must be a string. Now with this, we are creating, so this is going to be the key, and then this is the value. So we want to, the key for this is going to be product count, and then the value is going to be this product count. Now, since it is a query string, we have to convert this to string because this is an integer type. So we need to convert this to string. Now you can see where from this product count, you will see it is coming from this. So we have this product count over here as a property. Then when the page loads from this side, we are populating this product count by counting the list of items here and now assign the value to this product count. So when this method is called, we can now have a value to this product count. As soon as you are done, we are going to navigate to this. So you want to add query to this route. Now this route here, we want to navigate to, this is a component name as fetch data, and I want to specify the route. So fetch data, you're going to have this question mark, then the name of that query string is going to be product count equal to, you're going to have the value of this as a product count. Okay, that's what you're going to see. Now, how do you retrieve or how do you receive this from within another component? And now this component is the fetch data. So let's go to this fetch data. And now in here, as you can see, when the page initializes, we are also restore or getting or extracting the query string. So the queries that has been specified in the URI, we have to grab them. So first of all, we get all the string here. Then after that, you want to specify a value that is a key known as a product count. And now we create an out variable. So when we have this, you want to create an out variable. Then with this out variable, the value of this will be stored within this product count, okay, as a string format. Now, when it comes to this string, this product count here, it is a number. So we need to convert it back to the number format. So we use this int pass. Then we specify this product count. Int here means that it's going to convert it into an integer. Then so this is going to be a string, and we specify it here to convert this into an integer. And that is what we are doing. So within this product count, we can display this on top over here. Let's save this, and now let's run this and see. So now the app is ready. As you can see, if I click on the counter, as you've seen here, it's not persistent. The value or the state gets lost. But you see from here, we have this product count as 11. Then we can add new. So we're going to have 12. We can add the next one. Going to be 13, and that's the list that we have. Now if I click on this, so send product count, that is the 13 to fetch data. So if I click on this, check this, the route here, you can see it's going to have this fetch data, that is the name, and it's going to have the key and then the value. So the key, it is the product count, and the value is 13. So when it comes to this fetch data, as soon as the page initializes, we also extract the key and now get the value and now display. So you can see we have it set over here. Then you can go back again, increase it to any number that you want, and we can specify that also inside the receiving page. So once you have here at 14, if you navigate to this, click on this button, you're gonna have this 14 set over here. So meaning that you're able to maintain the state of this variable and are able to move it across multiple pages. Okay, so that is it for using the query string. Now let's have a look with the next one, that is using the local storage. Using local storage to maintain state or to perform state management. So what are the importance of using local storage in state management? Local storage allows data to be stored in the browser's memory and persist across browser sessions and circuits. This can help preserve and restore the state of a component or a service when the user reconnects to the app or reloads the page. So in this case, data is not lost, data is not changed, the state is not changed because the data or the values are stored in the browser's memory. So as soon as the person reloads or gets back to the site again, the data will still be there. So let's have a look with this, how to perform state management using the local storage. So here, what we need to do here is we are going to, let's go to this index. Now within the index component, we have our product component here. Is it component? We have a product object, that's this is a model, and we have its object or the container. We also have a list of products as a container type, and we have this product count as a property of what? Integer. So this is going to handle the product count and it's going to handle the product list. And there's going to be a single product to be added to this product list. Now there's a button known as add product, and that is a button over here. So if I click on add product, you can see we are populating it, or you want to add a new product to the list. So that's what we are doing. We create a list over here, and we have to get the item from the local storage. So before we do that, we have to install a package known as a Blazor local storage by Cascading. So you right click on these dependencies and install this component. This package, the name of this package, it is Blazor local storage. So if I click on packages, that is a Blazor local storage by Cascading. So after you download this package, you make sure you have to register this in the program.cs file. So you register it with this line, and now you're good to go. So when you go back to the home page, you have to first, local storage cannot accept or cannot store objects or models. So what we need to do here is to store it in the form of string. Before we can store it in the form of string, we have to now convert that into a JSON, right? So JSON format. So as you can see from here, we want to get this product. This product here, it is a key of the local storage item. So that's the product as a key. So it's going to return a string. So that's how I made here like string product. So when you check and it is empty, then you want to create a new list. Else, then you want to deserialize it, and you're going to deserialize it into an object in the form of a list of product. Then you assign it to this local product. Remember that this local product here, it is also a list of products that we have over here. Okay. Then this adding. So once you have the list assigned over here, we want to add a new one that is in this product. So we are adding it to populate the model or the ID ourselves. Then we add it to the list over here. After adding it, we want to remove the old one because currently the list that we have a new model or new product added. The old one, we have to remove the old one. Then now you have to serialize or convert the current one into a string format. Then we have to save it into the local storage. So this line of code is going to help us to set item as string. Then there's a key over here, and then there's an object. So this is a string object. Now if we check here, the key must be the same. So you can see this is a product and that's a product. These are the keys that we need. Okay, then to get the product count, since we have this product list, we can just count it and assign the list to this. And also from this product, we can also assign the list of this product that we have here to this. So we can loop through this and then display the various values or the various items. And that's what we are doing. You can see from we are looping through this product and now displaying the items one after the another. Also, when you check down here, when the page loads, you know, this is Blazor server. So when the page loads using the initialized async, by that time it's going to be rendered on the server side. So on after render async is going to happen on the client side. You know, we want to have access to local storage. So it means we have to make sure we're on the client side before we render this, we get this. So on after render async, this is a life cycle method that gets rendered on the client section. So here we want to get the product or the string from the local storage, and I will check if it is not empty. We want to deserialize it into a list of objects, assign it to this list. And remember, this list is what we initialize it over here. Then we want to also populate the count, and you want to perform or call state has changed. Why do you have to call state has changed? On after render means after this, the UI has been updated already, and this get the data. So after this getting the data and the UI has updated already, you have to re-render the page again so we can have the current values here assigned or shown on the UI. That is why we need to call this state has changed event to re-render the whole component again. Okay. So now after doing this, let's go to the fetch data. Now we have the data stored in local storage. So in the fetch data, we can retrieve the data from the local storage. So what we do here is inject the local storage. And also after injecting, when the page on after render async, we can also do the same thing. So we just copied what we have from the index and now we pasted it over here to get the list from the JSON, the local storage, decrypt the list or deserialize it, and now assign the list to this product list that we have here. After that, so call this state has changed to render the component. Now, if I click on add product, I am doing the same thing as we've gone through in the index page. And now here you can see we have this product to be added, and we have this product count to display the count of the items in the list. And that's what we see on top here. Okay, so you can see we have this product count created once, and now we are using it all over the component. Now let's save this and now let's run this application and see what we have. Alright, so you can see that you have this page ready, and from the local storage, let's right click on this inspect element. Now let's go to application state. So this is application, and I can see from application you're going to have this local storage. So you can see we have this product and there's a list. So let me just remove this. Okay, so it is empty. Now if I refresh this, the count is equal to 0 because there's no item in the local storage. And let's go again. So from local storage, you can see we have no key, we have no value. Now let's start by adding the first one. So we add this add product, and you can see it gets added, and now it gets counted, and now state has changed occurred. So it renders, and now you can see we have the product count as 1, and we have this the item also displayed over here. Let's add the next one. So maybe we can add Let's see. So there's a product we want to add. So television, and now let's see what we have. So because you're going to have the item count as 2, and that is this one. Now if I go to fetch data, you can see have the same item count. Now let's add last one. So let's have like radio, and if as soon as I add, you can see we have 3, and if I click on this, you can see we have 1, 2, 3. So this data have been added over here, and if I go back to the home, I have the same value here. So you can see the data here is persistent across all components, across all pages, and that is the way of using local storage to maintain the state of a variable or a model. Now let's go to the last one. That's going to be the 5th one, by using the database. So in this case, we're going to use an SQLite database. Let's see how to go about that. So do you know that a database allows data to be stored in a persistent and secured way on the server side, which can help protect the data from unauthorized access or manipulation by the client-side code or the user? Yes, the database can do that. So it is very useful to store data using the database to maintain the state of a variable or a data. Also, database can also provide features such as encryption, backup, indexing, and querying to manage the data efficiently and effectively. A database can also enable data to be shared and synchronized across multiple users or devices as well. So let's have a look with how to maintain state using this database. What we need to do here first is we have to install some packages, and I think there are 3: EF-Core, EF-Core Tools, and an EF-Core SQLite. So I've installed them already. So if I click on the dependencies, packages, you can see we have these packages installed here. So these are the ones that you need to install. After doing this, you have to create our connection string, and we do that in the app-setting.json. So we specify data source as product database.db since we're using an SQLite. SQLite are going to attach it to the application, as you can see from down here. So after creating this name, you have to create the model that you're going to use to store, and that's going to be the product. So we have this product model, which is the ID and the name as parameters or properties. Also, after doing this, you have to register the service in the program.cs file. So we go to program, and now we are registering the service over here, and we get the connection name that's the default from this app-setting.json. So the name is default, and we get it in the program.cs file. Okay, so after doing this, we perform database migration. But before that, you have to create an AppDB contest. So there's an AppDB contest, and it inherits from this DB contest class. And now we pass in the options here, and now we create this table. So this is the table that we're going to create, the product table, and we're going to use the properties specified in this product model as the various columns, or that's the columns. Okay, so now we have this. The next thing to do here is you have to perform database migration. You click on Tools, then you go to NuGet Package Manager, Manager Console, or check down here. Then you have to perform add migration. So add-migration. Then give it a name. So after doing that, then you have to update the database. So update database. And now when you do this, and as soon as it's finished running, you're going to have this file or this folder created as migration. That's the name that you have. So this is a table name, and these are the various columns that we have in the table. Okay, so now we have done this. The next thing to do here is to create our service. The service what we're going to use to get the product count, also add product, and then get the list of products. So we create a service in the data folder. We create an interface first. The interface is just an add product, get all product as a list, and then get product count as integer. So these are the 3 interfaces that we are creating. After that, we need an implementation class. So we create a class which inherits from the same interface. Then we inject a constructor we create a constructor and inject our AppDB contest so we can have access to the database. With the add product, you can see we are adding it to the database product table. We save it. Now get all product. We have to return the list of the product to the user. That's a tax list product. And also from get count, we have to get all product from the list. Then we return the product count. Okay. So now we have this. We have to register this in the program.cs file by creating dependency injection. So register them using Based on the services that are scope, you pass in the interface and implementation class. Now you're done with this, what we can do here is you're going to inject this. So it's the same as the state management. Okay, the state container, you can inject it on top of the page, and I can have access to the method inside the service, and I'll use them. So in the index page, we could see we inject it on top here. And you can see this is very simple. We inject the interface on top here. Then we have our list. So you can see from this product service.count.result, you want to display the count. And here you want to loop to the list and now display the name over here. When it comes to this add button, we perform add product when this button is clicked. Now if this button is clicked, this is what you want to do. I wait product service.add product, and we pass in the product that we have. Now with this database, we need not to specify an ID, because when using database, either SQLite or SQL, it's going to provide the ID automatically. So it is not like using a Blazor local storage or using cascading value or using query string and etc. Here you're going to leave it. It's going to provide an ID automatically to the assigned data, the record going in. After that, you create, we clear the container and now make it ready to accept the new data. Okay, now when you go back to the same fetch page, you can see from here that we call the same thing. So get product count.result, and now here add product, we call the same service, add.product, then we clear the container. Now let's save this and now let's run this and see. Alright, so you can see that we have this product count and we have 3 data already in a database. So here, if I open a database, you're going to see this 3 data in there. Let's try to open a database and see. So to do that, you have to download this DB browser for SQLite, because it's an SQLite database. Then you're going to click on Open Database. So you can see this is the project folder, and I can see this is a product database.db. So I'll open this and I'll click on the Browse tab. So you can see we have this 3 data in here. Let's clear everything. Now save for right changes, refresh it. And as soon as I refresh it, let's see what happens. You can see it's going to return to 0. Now if I go to fetch data, it is 0. Let's try to add one here. So television. If I decide to add this, add product, there's going to be 1. When I click on the home tab, it's still going to have 1. Now let's add one more. So add, because you're going to have 2. And now go to this fetch data, you're going to also have 2 set over here. So these are the 5 ways of maintaining or creating state management in Blazor. This can happen in the Blazor server or Blazor WebAssembly. I'll put these various projects or these various examples on the GitHub. So check the description. If you want to get clone to any of this example, source code is available. You can do that. Please like this video if you've learned something new, and let me know your thoughts as well. If you have any issue, to put it in the comment section and I'll attend to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to buy me a coffee to support this channel too, and I'll be very happy to also receive it. Check the description. All the information will be there waiting for you. Take care of yourself, and I'll catch you up in the next video.